Wow. Welcome to live post-game reaction presented by our good friends at Kits Eyewear. Promo code Curfew. Get your first pair of any prescription absolutely free. Good Canadian company. Fellas, everybody, let's just take a deep breath. I'm going to throw in a lip boomer here. Let's just take a deep breath because that was a little too close for comfort. Just Obes here. Coming in solo, boys. Listen, what a game. First and foremost, you know what? I thought we came out once again. You know, McKinnon had a big hit on Natius at the start of the game. Obviously, McDavid's pass behind the back to Celebrini. We go up 1-0. You know, I did think, fellas, what a game is right. Holy fuck, Obes. I agree, fella. You know, and then you got to give the Czechs credit. I mean, as the game went on, you know, as much as I bag on Gudas, obviously the guy's had a hell of a career. But what he did out there tonight, single-handedly, he was a wrecking ball out there. You know, we lose Sid. Didn't look great, boys. You know, who knows? You know, hopefully we'll see him again. But all you beauties out there that played hockey, you know, it didn't look good going off. But physicality, I mean, you got to give the Czechs credit. Let's start with the Czechs, boys. Gudas was being physical. You know, mainly just him, but the way they were playing, you could see, in my opinion, boys, as the game went on, they started getting confidence, right? And us, you know, whoever's Canadian out there, we're sitting there watching it, and you know, we're getting nervous. So as you know, imagine you're in that game and you're playing. We've all played. Canada starts squeezing the sticks a little bit. You know, obviously Pastrnak with an absolute missile to make it 2-1. And then, you know, I got to give Binner some credit, boys. Binner made some saves when it was 2-1, a couple huge glove saves to keep it 2-1. As we all know, fellas, if that goes to 3-1, it just changes the whole complexion, the feel of the game. You know, I'm going to stick there with Binner, boys. I'll read some comments here. Evan Studley, Gudas is a fucking gamer. I couldn't agree more, fella. Jose Sanchez, roller coaster, that it was. You know, say what you want about Binner. When he puts this maple leaf, you know, on his chest, he turns the clocks back, so to speak, and he made some great saves. Made a big save in overtime. You know, and then just going back to the Czechs, you know, heading into the game, boys. Anybody that you know watches the Anaheim Ducks, you know, a lot or regularly, I should say, like myself, you know, living out here in Orange County, Dustall is a problem, and he made some huge saves. He kept them in it. Binner's a weapon. Yeah, he is, Mitch. Yeah, he is. You know, Dostal kept them in it, and then obviously, you know, to go up 3-2, you know, late in the game, Czechs had all the momentum, and I got to give credit to, you know, the whole coaching staff, but mainly our boy Coop. You know, Sid goes out. You know, Updog boys talked about before the tournament about all our experience we have, all the Stanley Cups we have in there. And it starts with our captain, right? I mean, he is Captain Canada. I mean, when you think about Canadian hockey, you think about Sidney Crosby. And for him to go down, I got to give the coaching staff credit. I got to give all the boys in that dressing room credit because, as we all know, right, you play in a team, you lose your captain or one of your best players. It's just a natural reaction around the room to be like, oh, fuck, you know, we're in one here. So I thought the boys and the coaching staff did a hell of a job of just staying calm. I mean, I was nervous. The whole country back home, I'm sure, was nervous. I had all my, you know, American golf buddies texting me, what's going on? You know, are they going to blow it? But we found a way. And, you know, my boy Coop, listen, I would have had Sam Bennett in the lineup. That's why I'm probably not, you know, a lot of Canadians would say that. It's not a crazy take. You know, Coop doesn't go with Bennett. He goes with Jarvis, Suzuki. And I got to give Coop credit. Down the stretch there, he continued to roll out Suzuki and Jarvis. Obviously, he was playing the piss out of McDavid, Celebrini, and McKinnon. And by the way, who said McKinnon's at 30%? You're probably right, fella. You know, he played great, obviously a sick goal. But he didn't look himself. So obviously with a maintenance day yesterday, I don't know if McKinnon's 100%. But I got to give Coop and the coaching staff credit. And Nick Suzuki, who, boys, once again, I didn't have on my team. I know he's playing great for the Habs with my boy Marty St. Louis. What a shift. Goes in there, finishes his check, stays on the puck. Jarvis comes sweeping in, low to high, and pucks to the net. I was texting with Prongs throughout the game. And, obviously Prongs has won everything. And, he kept just saying, pucks to the net. And, I've never been in this situation, but I've been on good teams, Vancouver with the Sedins. And, sometimes when these really good players, they try to force stuff at times. And the Canadian mindset, boys, is low to high, pucks to the net, get traffic, get some greasy ones. And that's exactly what the tire was. Like I said, low to high, Nick Suzuki goes to the net. And then 3-on-3, Mitchie Marner once again. I thought, in my group text with some of my boys, I said, is Mitchie Marner playing tonight? And sure enough, he stuffs it up my you-know-what. What a backhand. The boys found a way. Moving forward here, I think this heading into the semis is obviously a good thing for us. We had no adversity through the round robin or the preliminary, whatever you want to call it. We come in here, the whole country, including myself, almost had a jammer, but we found a way to get it done. One other thing about the Czechs, boys, is, it's tough to beat any team twice in any kind of tournament, right? And I saw their comments yesterday after they beat Denmark, and they were just kind of trying to kill us with kindness, right? This could be the best Canadian team ever, and they just joked, though. That's why we lost to them in the preliminaries, because we knew we couldn't beat them twice. Listen, they're a prideful country. I play with some great Czech players. Milan Hajduk at the top of that list. And they gave us a scare, man. They gave us a scare. But Coop and the coaching staff, go pour yourself a cocktail. You boys deserve it. Sid, I hope you're all right, fella. Way to find a way to get it done. I mean, listen, this is why best on best is the best. Because, listen, we all care. I've been living in the States, almost longer than I've been living in Canada. But, man, anytime we put on this jersey and we put our best players out there, I'm so proud to be Canadian. So good on the boys. I wish it would have been a little bit easier, but we're on to the semis, 2 wins away. What can I say, boys? It was a good match, a lot of fun to watch. Credit to the Czechs, to the Canadian boys. Go grab dinner, take a breather, learn from it. So I can't wait to watch the semis on Friday. I guess, boys, if you want to do a little Q&A here, we can do it real quick. I'll just read some of your comments. Binner is a fucking warrior. Uggs 85, I agree. Jackson, wellness check on Richie. Richie is okay, boys. He was just, had a bad back nine, so he was a little tuned up for the pod, but he's a team guy and jumped on. So, Obes, inside info, Jarvis, ripping piss bombs in the intermission. Listen, I got to give Jarvis credit, man, to not be on the team and then come in and not play all the games and then get thrown right into, a do or die match. He's a glue guy. I can't imagine that. I mean, it's tough enough to be sitting out in the NHL, which I can imagine because I did it a lot. And then you get thrown into a game. But at this level, for a guy who's used to playing, 18, 15, 16, 17, 18 minutes a night, to be getting thrown in there. And so good on Jarvis. Any other questions, boys, or just boys want to talk about Richie getting pinned? He did have a good buzz going. Obes, over under on a dozen Blue Lights consumed during that game. Fella, it's too early out here. I had about 3 Baileys and coffees. I got to go move some water around now and continue the rest of my day. But one thing about these games on the West Coast, they start so early. Can't get that pinned early. But maybe for the gold medal game, the 5 a.m., or maybe I'll just try to either play through Saturday night or get up early. Obes, I was at the polls on the weekend, and I guess what came on the ticker? Purple Rain. What a tune, fella. First tune I ever heard. Cabaret. Purple Rain. Purple Rain. Hopefully Sid's all right, boys. It didn't look great. Needed Obes on the back end. Woo! You know what? They weren't that desperate, fella. Jackalson 2 to 27.51. But what I did say did see throughout this game, boys, and I was a little concerned about our back end coming in. If we were down in a game like that, like no disrespect to Pranko and Sanheim and, obviously Dewey, the veteran, Harley does have some ability to move the puck, obviously, but I thought like we got Makar, the best defenseman in the world, but I thought if we got in that position, a guy like Montour or Uyghur or a right-handed defenseman that could jump into play, just if we got in that situation right there where we were down and we were pressing, listen, the boys got it done. We didn't give up a whole lot, obviously. But to me, in that situation, could have we used one more defenseman that could maybe jump into play a little bit more than Parenko and Sanheim? I always thought that, but we found a way to get it done. Oh, scores the winner. What's your selling? Oh, just a good old-fashioned pumpernickel, fella. Pumpernickel. I don't even know, actually. I can't even imagine that because that never would probably happen. But in my 13 career goals I scored, I always went pumpernickel, fella. Just down on one knee. Let her go. Any good bars the boys hit when playing in mini? Listen, fella. Rest in peace. One of my favorite teammates ever, Pavel Dimitra. I didn't go out mini a whole lot because we stayed in St. Paul. But the schedule the 1 year in Van, we had a couple days off, and Pavel Dimitri's like, "Oh, we're going out in Minneapolis." I'm like, "Minneapolis?" He's like, "Trust me." Him and Gabrick took us out. We had an absolute night. Can't remember the name of the place, but Minneapolis, boys, if you want to go for a little fellas tour, go in there. I love that arena in St. Paul, and then Minneapolis is sneaky, a good town. What is your prediction for Canada? What is your prediction for who Canada will play? We're probably going to play the Finns, I would imagine. I mean, listen, this next quarterfinal, Sweden, USA, look out for an upset there, too. I mean, the Swedes are a good hockey club, as we all know. I do think the Finns end up getting past this. We got the Finns in the next matchup, right? Yeah. So I think we got Finns in the semis, and then it will be USA, Slovakia if they win. But if Sweden wins, I'm not up to date on my bracket here, right? If Sweden wins, we would get Sweden. So we're going to have either Finland or Sweden. I think USA takes care of Sweden, to answer your question, fella. Yeah, the Finns, not they lose against us. Yeah, my bad, fella. You're right. We got the Finns in the semis unless Sweden wins, but I do think USA takes care of business. Swiss are pumping the Finns? You think so, fella? 1, 2, 3, DJG, 1, 2, 3. You think the Swiss, or are they pumping them right now? Are they playing? Come on, Obes. Wow, they are playing. All I care about is Canada. 2-0 Switzerland. Wow. Sorry, fellas. I didn't even know that. I was so caught up in the Canadian game. 2-0 Switzerland. Wow. So then, fellas, help me out here. Does that mean we would get Switzerland in the semis? Correct, right? You boys probably know more than me. Yeah, we get the Swiss. Fucking rights. We deserve it. We deserve maybe a little bounce, eh? But once again, that would be playing the same team twice in a tournament. I do think that matters, fellas. I do think when you see a team, especially in a single knockout tournament, when you see them again, you know some of their tendencies to a certain extent. I get it. All these guys play in the NHL against each other, but it's a little bit different. We would get Swiss or the Slovaks. My wild card team to medal was Germany. Obviously, Slovak bitch slapped them out there today. Listen, the Slovaks, first of all, they have the drunkest fans at the tournament. So kudos to them. They travel well. Obviously, it's in Europe. They're getting pinned. But they seem like they got some mojo going, right? Their goalie, I don't even know his name. He can kick. A lot of those boys have played with each other in the same league now throughout the NHL, World Championships. What's in the sipper there, big fella? Just water. It's my girl's glass too, Las Vegas. Just water, fella. I'm heading to move some water around. Swim. Get my swim in. And then I'm going to go meet some of my golf buddies for USA Sweden. What do you guys think? USA or Sweden? Do we all want to just see a US-Canada gold? Is that what we're thinking? Any personnel changes for the Canadians going to the next round? Never change a winning lineup. That's true. You never change a winning lineup. It all depends on Sid, right? It doesn't look good. I can't imagine him playing, but I wouldn't put anything past Sid. So now you throw Bennett in there. You could put Suzuki up in Crosby's spot, start Bennett down the fourth line, or as the extra, or whatever Coop and the coaching staff want to do. But I got to give John Cooper credit, boys. I mean, obviously I'm biased. I've got to know him, but the way he just stayed calm behind the bench tonight, the way he continued to trust his guys. Like for me, I'm like, obviously you roll McDavid's line and then you shorten the bench even more, I thought. He did to a certain extent, but he continued to roll out the guys that he brought there. And Suzuki rewarded him. Jarvis rewarded him. Good on them. Where do you believe Russia would stack up this year had they been allowed to take part? Listen, they would have had an unbelievable team. And listen, all politics aside, this is sports, not politics. I do believe I feel bad they're not allowed to play. It would be better with Russia in it, but that's above my pay grade. I was at the Balboa Bay Club in December, went to that little island to see the Christmas lights pinned on the e-bike. Nice, fella. That is how you do it down here. E-bike, catch a buzz. The Christmas lights are amazing. Next time you got to stay at the Bay Club. Promo code curfew, bud, 20 off. Love Susie. He's been clutch in Montreal. Hey, Chris, XT7917. Listen, buddy, I know Marty loves him. I've watched a lot of Habs games too. He has been great. When I thought of Team Canada, though, I just thought, is he ready yet? Proved me wrong once again, which is not hard to do, but what a goal. He has, if they get this done and win a gold, he's a Canadian legend now because that was one of the biggest goals in Canadian hockey history, if you ask me. Canada has the refs on the payroll. You know what? My boy KC, who's American on the Missin Curfew team, he was complaining about the calls as well. Listen, you can't be fucking high-sticking guys, cross-checking guys. Rules are rules, bud. Rules are rules. Why does Canada get stuck playing Czech and not a weaker team? It's just how it played out, I think. We were number one, and they were the lowest seed to get in after the qualification little play in there. I know. I was worried too, and obviously exactly what happened. I was worried about Dostal playing the way he did. I was worried about Pasternak finally having the best game of the tournament, which he did. Nacious, Palat. They got guys that are fucking gamers, and Gudas was a wrecking ball. I tip my hat to the Czech team, man. They played hard. I was laughing at their bench. Thomas Plekanec. Where's your turtleneck, fella? Who wins a fight between Wilson and Gudas? Tom Wilson pumps him. I respect Gudas and everything he's done in his career, but I've never even really seen him fight. Willie would destroy him. Live in 5. Play the hip, fella. Play the hip. 93-1. Swishy, fella. Miss you, buddy. I hope you're having a time over there. Swishy is honorary Canadian. Play the hip. Passing got high stuck with. Listen, that wasn't a high stick. That was a hit by Doughty. When I hit you, I can go through you. My shoulder starts in your chest. Then he went through him. Cut on the lip. Listen, it's a men's game, fella. That's not a penalty. That's a hit. I disagree with you. Crosby out. Time for Ben to come in. 100%, Chris. 100%. Chin over shin. Anyone that blames the ref are fucking casuals. Chin over shin. That's awesome. Anything else, boys? USA, Sweden next. Let me ask the guys that are on the chat here. Do you love the Olympics, or would you, from a fan's perspective, would you much rather a World Cup every 2 years in North America, primetime hockey, in Vegas and New York and Chicago, Toronto, Vancouver? Do you boys love this Olympics, or would you rather just see World Cup of hockey, primetime, ESPN, TNT, Sportsnet back home, World Cup in Chicago? See you there. World Cup, NHL rules. Love it. Chin over shin. Love it. Niles, always my heart needed a blue light, fella. You deserve. Go have 6. Go have 6 pristine Pilsners. I'm going to go have a little swim, and then I'm going to catch a little buzz with my boys. Can't get drunk at 5 a.m., Buzz. I know. You can't, eh? Unless you're still up from the night before. Like back in the day with me and the Updog and Loops, we would have cruised right in from Hollywood, watched the gold medal game at Loops' house. World Cup of Hockey, Montreal and MSG rinks. Love it. Love it. Listen, I think the Olympics for the players is unbelievable. G-Money! Fella! Get that sprinter dial, fella, for the weekend. We're going to tee it. I think the players for the Olympic experience is probably through the roof for those in the family, but I'm talking about fans. And now that I'm turned to the dark side media, like World Cup of Hockey, maybe you have one division that starts in Europe, and then once it's the knockout rounds, they come over here. But I just think prime time, all the great cities, Chicago, Vegas, New York, Toronto, Vancouver, Montreal, whatever it is, Boston, whatever it is. I just think there's so much talent right now, and you can see how much these guys love to play for their country. We could build some momentum. I'm not saying it's ever going to get to the World Cup of soccer because it's not, but we could build some momentum to make this thing, pretty sick. And now with social media and all the eyeballs that could be on it, I just think we're missing out with the Olympics. Hockey dude, 34, Olympics, fella. All right. Hey, you're entitled to your own opinion, fella. Who does Canada play on Friday? I guess Switzerland if they hold on. Or Slovaks. Nobody knows. I don't know. I just know we're still playing. 6 Nation tournaments, get rid of the All-Star game. All right, so you bring in, who do you bring in, fella? You bring in Czechs and Germans for the 5th and 6th team? I can get behind that. 6 Nations tournament. I just wanted it to be called the World Cup, or even better, the Canada Cup. Can we just go back to the Canada Cup with this as the trophy? I mean, that was fucking sick. And the Russians, oh yeah. But see, the problem is, I know Germany didn't have a great showing, but when you have Leon Draisaitl, boys, as one of the top 5 players in the world, you got to have him in there, don't you? I called out Suzuki and Marner. They both scored afterwards. Reverse psychology, fella. Niles, 3-3. Niles, fella, I was chirping Marner all game. I'm like, is this guy fucking playing? And then what does he do? He goes backhand spink dink. Fella, have a good swim, fella. When's the next pod? Boys, we will be back. Pod will be out Friday. We got a great guest. Listen, love all you boys. Thanks for doing this with me. I had a lot of fun. If you're Canadian, fucking rights, boys. We're still in her. To our American listeners, good luck against the Germans. Pod's out right now. We snapped around yesterday. Good luck to the Updog and Richie out there at the Pro. Go low, boys. As Don Sherry says, folks, we are the best. Thanks, fellas.